What's good? What's good? Oh man, I forgot my microphone. All right, what's happening, y'all? Good morning. Good morning, LDBC. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's good with you? Ivy League, Ivy Web in Ivy League. I'm gonna start calling you Ivy League. Ivy League Web. What is good, brothers? UK. What's going on, man? Gravy Davy in the building. What's going on, sir? Jaybird 904. All rise for Josh. Yes, all rise. Dog, because I'm about to convict somebody today. I saw them rules, Eddie. We read them rules. We read them rules. You in some hot water. Y'all in some hot water, dog. Y'all in some hot water. Ivy Webb, Kieran Alexis, what's going on? Maurice Melroy, what's happening? Corner Girl 66, salute. The Goalkeeper 3000, what's going on? Thomas Moreland, Junior the Truth, they in some hot water, baby. They in some hot water. They in some hot water. They in some hot water. like the jail type hot water. Boy, that better be clear. That man, wee, they pulled a scam. They pulled a scam. And I'm still in the middle of my research. But man, I was on Best Fight, the Best channel yesterday, and somebody sent, and I got a copy of it. Let me pull this up. I ain't gonna show it. For now, can you explain how the Dillian fiasco could be the end Matchroom? Oh, it's coming. Ooh, it's coming. They go, first of all, let me go to this Gmail right here. Dog, that shit could be it, man. Wow. All right, here. I'm gonna pull, I gotta know, make sure I get the title. Something that Best Fight the Best sent yesterday. It is called the UK Anti-Doping Rules. This is the rules. Now, let's so you know, this is not some old internet stuff. This is a 52-page document with the UK anti-doping rules. Now, first and foremost, we have to understand what UKAD is. UKAD is a quasi, so that's what I'm saying. I'm still in the research for it, but it is a quasi-judicial entity. I mean, a quasi-governmental entity. It is the organization that's over performance-enhancing drug testing for all UK sports, and they get government funding. They are funded and paid for by the government. They have rules. Now, that's where I'm saying I got to figure out. They actually make reports, quarterly reports to Parliament. Parliament, as you know, is like in the United States. It's like it's their government. It's a monarchy, but I think it's the House of Commons. But Parliament are the people that are basically responsible for the day-to-day operations of the government, right? Tony Blair was, what's the name of it? The prime minister. You vote for the prime minister, then you have the Parliament. UKAD reports on a regular basis to Parliament, because they fund UKAD. It is from what I can see, a quasi-governmental entity. So since they have their oversight, the people that oversight have, this is what Russia was accused of, state-sponsored corruption. Watch this. UKAD is the government. It is the government. So when they break their rules, it's a crime. It's a crime. Got that? A crime. So we got this rule book. Now, I have to admittedly, I'm putting everything that I'm saying here as a caveat that I got my research to do on it. So, but dude, I swear, Parliament and Funkadelic, Look, man, let me tell you what these boys saying here. They talk about section 2.1, the presence of prohibited substances or metabolic markers in an athlete's sample, unless athlete established the presence is consistent with the therapeutic use exemption granted under Article 4. And then 2.2, the attempted use of an athlete by a prohibited substance or the method of prohibited method, unless it's granted by a TUS. Boy, they got therapeutic use exemption all through this. Refusal to or failure to, so this is their rules, right? But in here, what's complicity? Assisting, encouraging, aiding, abetting, conspiring, covering up, or any other type of intentional complicity involving an anti-doping rule violation, attempted anti-doping violation, or violation of 10.12.1 by another person. Complicity. That's Eddie Hearn. Complicity. But in these rules, when they talk about all of the processes, pretty much through every step of this, if they find an adverse finding, right? Analysis of samples, when they talk about an adverse finding, review of atypical finding, review of an adverse passport finding. In the following considerations, 3 experts from the expert panel are no longer, here you go. An adverse finding report, basically they find this expert panel. If an expert panel are no longer unanimously of the view that it is highly likely that the athlete used prohibited substance, right? Ukad shall notify the athlete and each interested party. Here also, if the following, after such following consideration, 3 experts from the expert panel maintain, notwithstanding the athlete's expectation, it is highly likely the athlete used a prohibited substance or prohibited method, and unlikely that the adverse passport finding is a result of any other cause, then Ukad shall send the athlete a notice of charge under 17.7. But in all of these cases, in all of the cases that I see, they are supposed to notify all interested parties. All interested parties. The interested parties are VADA. They define it, an interesting party in the definition, as any international agency that's responsible for testing protocols. So, if once they found out that the guy tested positive for performance-enhancing drug, Ukad was supposed to inform VADA. When they had this 3-person hearing, this expert hearing, to see whether or not they believed him or not, if they had believed him, which they must have said that they did because they let him fight, they were supposed to notify VADA. And since they didn't notify VADA, that is Ukad violating its own rules, in that they were supposed to tell VADA. That could be a violation of, if it was the United States, it would be a violation of federal law. That's why Eddie Hearn ain't saying nothing. The legal reasons that they can't say anything, the lawyers say don't say anything for legal reasons. Yeah, you damn right don't say nothing for legal rights, as in legal reasons, as in you have the right to remain silent. Everything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. Shut up, Dillian, because if you talk too much about you not testing positive, they're going to get to the crux of the issue. The issue isn't whether or not, the big issue here, from what I can see, is not whether or not Dillian Whyte B sample comes up test positive or negative. It has everything to do with whether or not Ukad, a government agency, followed their rules and notified VADA. But why wouldn't they, think about this, why wouldn't they let VADA know? Why? What reason would they have to violate their own rules? Because the fight might get canceled. because the fight might get canceled. And if the fight gets canceled, that's Eddie Hearn's. So what interest? That's Eddie Hearn's money. That's money being paid to the BBOC, right? So we're not talking about whether or not, the issue isn't really whether or not Dillian Whyte tested positive for a performance-enhancing drug. It's not. Because they would still be guilty of violating their own rules, whether or not the B sample becomes positive or not. That is government corruption. That is government corruption. If Eddie Hearn can convince Ukad not to notify VADA, because VADA is going to notify WBC, and the WBC is going to notify Oscar Rivas. The WBC could have pulled sanctioning from the fight like they did when Canelo Alvarez tested positive. Eddie Hearn is in deep doo-doo. If this dude did, if the House of, I think it's the House of Commons, somebody correct me because I'm not from the UK, but if they come up with, because Eddie a crook, and they got some criminal type shit going on over there. That's criminal. That's highly likely to be criminal. I won't say that I know it's criminal because, like I said, I'm in the United States, but I do know this. The United States, the Open University for Non, we're all welcome. Yes, sir. I know this, that UK common law and the US common law is the same thing. Our laws came from their laws, right? Now, the statutory stuff is different, but my general understanding of the way governments work is if they give you money and they ask you to oversee, you're responsible for you. They get regulatory power handed to them from the government. They are a government. They are then subject to that government body. And if they get caught lying to Parliament, who are the politicians that let that shit slip? And according to Black Fight Fan, and I believe for Black Fight Fan, they said that whoever this John Michaels lawyer already served complaints on Eddie Hearn, Ukad, and the British Boxing Board of Control. And remember this information was leaked. None of this was supposed to come out. I'm looking at their processes and I'm saying, what rule in here? Now, I haven't read the whole thing. And again, I'm telling you, I have not read the whole thing cover to cover, but I didn't see where it said that if you have an adverse finding, you can have a meet that the only meeting I see that they can call is the one with the three experts, and then Dillian Whyte has the right to argue with them about whether or not they believe this adverse finding was if he could explain it away. And if he can explain it away to their satisfaction, they have to notify all interested parties. But they never did. VADA and Ukad, VADA and the WBC found out about it in the news after the fight was over. But yet I'm trying to tell you, dog. I'm trying to tell you. It ain't about the B sample. It ain't about that B sample. That B sample is what you call, that B sample is, from what I can see, it might very well just be some side issue, like a traffic ticket compared to that. If that's a federal law, I mean, it's not federal because it's not a federal state, but whatever they call it, if they violated rules that were laid down by Parliament, use government funding to do it. Because I've heard Eddie Hearn asking for government funding for boxing. Eddie in trouble, man. Eddie in trouble. Eddie is in risk. I'll put it that way. Eddie's at risk. Eddie and the British Boxing Board of Control are at risk. Nettle Wright said it's all simple. WBC takes Ukad and Matchroom to court and hit them in their pockets where it hurts and pay Rivas for the damages. Nigel Wright, what I'm talking about is something different. That's civil. Much love in that super chat. That's civil. That's me and you will come to an agreement. You violate the agreement, then I sue you. You have to pay me. That's between me and you, okay? And the government is basically enforcing a promise between me and you, right? That's what that is. You're not going to jail for that. You know what I mean? You might get stuff like, you might get your property. You might have somebody be able to, put liens on your property or, get embarrassed in public. You might have to pay out a lot of money. That's a punishment for that. But when you violate government law, you go to jail. You get stuff you get your hands put behind your back and you get walked out of court. You get walked out the back of the courtroom. You get walked out the back of the courtroom. That's what that is. That's why I'm like, dog, if this goes wrong for him, that's huge. When I was listening to Bob Arum said, and this is why the thing that really got me. You're on Ukad. I don't know what you mean. What I'm saying is this. When I was listening, yeah, you had to pay somebody off. If they investigate that and they do that in a civil, if they got enough money to force those answers in a civil suit and they testify those things in a civil suit, then they absolutely can file criminal charges on that, on information that came out in a civil suit. Dude, that's deep. That's where Bob Arum was saying, when Bob Arum was sitting back, do you use PadMate? I don't know what PadMate is. What's PadMate? I don't know what PadMate is. Are you trying to say, do I use PadMate? Canna Taylor, are you trying to insult me? Be much more direct with it if you want to, because you're mistyping you're mistyping your insults, and they're not very effective if you're not clear. Okay. You have to insult me in using some verbiage that is, common to both the UK and the United States. Otherwise, you're just kind of doing whatever. Payoffs to the government don't happen in England. This ain't America. Are you crazy? Payoffs to the government don't happen in the UK. You're serious? Are you serious? Huh? For real? What are you like? What are you? What? You think, what are you motherfuckers? What are y'all like? What are you, fucking angels? Are you like angels or something? Now there's no corruption in the UK? You think I believe that? You guys, are you kidding me? The UK stole the whole continent. You stole the whole continent. Boy, y'all kill me. You realize that y'all stole the whole continent, right? It got stolen from you. The people, you stole a continent, and you don't think you got corruption in the UK? I speak English. Do I look British to you? Come on, man. Dude, they stole the monarchy from the Queen. Okay? They stole the right of the first knight during feudalism. Dog, y'all had feudalism. Y'all the home of feudalism. Shut up. Dude, we're a colony. Nothing you can say about us don't apply to you. We were a colony. We're just a colony it's just a colony that beat you up. That's it. You got whooped by a colony. This is the colony, right? People live in Virginia, Virginia Commonwealth, Come on, man. Anyway, man, exactly, it's corruption. All I'm saying is that I don't know how it's going to play out. I don't know whether or not they're, New York. Come on, man. He said, are you serious? Yeah, they do more than ever. Come on, man. Weren't the Russian judges corrupt in the Olympics, man? Look, man, first of all, you guys got a funny definition. I have a different definition of what corruption is. I think corruption is when something is not working the way that it's intended to work. The problem is you got many people just don't believe that that's how it's supposed to work. It's like if a car burns gas and smokes up the atmosphere, that car ain't corrupt. It's a car. It's doing what it's designed to do. If you get ripped off in a boxing match by some crooked promoters, that's what it's designed to do. Study the history of boxing. That's how boxing started in Great Britain, paying off government officials. You kidding me? Boxing used to be completely illegal in the UK when it started. Okay, it was completely illegal. The fights that took place with Tom Cribb, the fights that took place all the way from 1790 to 1900s, they were all illegal. Every one of them were illegal, but they took place because they paid off the police. It was illegal. Okay, it was illegal. All of it was illegal. Why you think? Here's the thing. You guys think that boxing in the UK or in the United States, for that matter, started off as a legit institution, and then it was taken over by criminals. Okay, no, reverse that. It started off as a criminal institution, and then they legitimized it with the help of the government. It happened in the exact opposite way. Same thing happened with the formation of the United States. It started off as a criminal empire, it started off as a criminal entity. People were stealing land, selling land that didn't belong to them, taking people's properties, digging their graves up. And after they got done beating everybody up and won everything, they put a government on top of it. You guys get the whole thing backwards. Dog, see, that's why I do believe that it's important look, my major in undergrad was political science. All right. And that I didn't learn nothing there. I didn't learn nothing there. But I'm telling you, you get things backwards. There would be, if there was not corruption, if there was not crime and people being treated unfairly, there would be no need for rules. The very existence of a government tells you that there's a bunch of crooked thieving shit going on. And they had to slap that on top to try to control it. Government was not invented by natural happenstance. Okay? It started to occur as a result of people starting to live in large communities together. Okay, look at how the Nile Valley civilizations took place. Because they learned to plant on the Nile, people moved together. When they moved together, they said, "Hey, man, we got to figure out a way we can all live together and cooperate." And then some crooked ass dudes was like, they made it work for themselves. Anyway, man, I ain't going into all that stuff. Just don't ever tell me anything. Don't try to tell me anything about there ain't no bribery going on in the UK. Are you kidding me? What do you think political donations are? Just wondering what you think that is. What do you think a political donation is? Huh? It's legalized bribery. It's legal now. They're like, oh, well, we don't bribe politicians anymore. No, you don't. You give them donations for their elections. And you tell them that if you don't do what I ask you to do, I'm going to go and give it to the next guy next time. You kidding me? All you're doing is legal. It's just legal bribery. But they made it legal. They allow you to use a credit card to do it. Just get out of here, man. It's wrong to portray the UK as a corrupt nation when there's no country in the world where that does not exist. That is a stupid statement, Canis. First of all, I didn't portray that. That was stupid, what you just said. First of all, I didn't say that they were a corrupt nation. I believe it's operating the way it's supposed to operate. Okay? But it ain't supposed to be fair. Okay? It ain't supposed to be equal. It's not what it's supposed to be. Okay? It's not supposed to be that way. That government is not supposed to be that way. Okay, because a monarchy wasn't that way. Okay, and it is a legislated monarchy. Okay, so it was never supposed to be that way. I don't think that it is corrupt. I think that it operates the way that it's supposed to operate. But us just people walking around every day, it doesn't work for us. And we think because it doesn't work for us that it wasn't supposed to be that way. It was supposed to be that way. Right? And you can hear those definitions in people's defense of still having, slave owners and kidnappers with national holidays. They say, well, that wasn't a bad guy. That was the law. It was the law. It was supposed to be that way. You're supposed to be able to buy and sell people and whip them till they're bloody and do all kind of other crazy stuff to it. Okay? Just come on, man. And I didn't say the UK was any different than anybody else. It happens in the US too. It happens in Canada, happens in Africa, happens in South America, it happens all over the planet. I didn't say you were any more corrupt. And plus, what you said was even more moronic because I think you said something to the effect of it's unfair for you to portray us as being corrupt when the rest of the world, when the whole world is corrupt. Well, dude, if the whole world is corrupt, then you're corrupt. You're not just the only corrupt person. Think about what you say, man. Think about what you say before you write it. You admitted that you're corrupt and then want to get upset with me for calling you corrupt, even though I didn't call you corrupt. I said Eddie's in a shitstorm. If they prove that this thing was not going along with Ukad's rules, and Ukad is a quasi-governmental entity, because that is a violation of the procedures of that were laid down, and they are laws. Violation of laws are crimes. So if they were funny, if they had any type of conversations, they could easily wind up in a situation where they get charged with a crime. And crimes mean you go to jail. You can't pay your way out of a crime. Okay? A crime. And I'm not a felon. Well, in the United States, it would be felony. I don't know what they would call that there. You can't buy your way out of a felony. You might be able to buy yourself some legal representation, but they are not charging you for your money. They may fine you. But that right there, that is something serious, homie. That's why they're name. You know it's something serious because they ain't saying nothing. My lawyers are telling me not to say anything at all whatsoever. Not even to deny it, because he's not even denying it. He's saying this is some bullshit. I was cleared. Something like that. I agree with the Whyte situation, but he's not guilty yet. It don't even matter. It don't even matter if he tested positive or not. If they were supposed to inform, if UCAD failed to abide by their own laws that govern them, then UCAD broke the law. And if they broke the law at the insistence or the urging of Eddie Hearn for Eddie Hearn's financial gain or his backers, because Eddie Hearn ain't out there alive. I mean, I'm not saying this, bro. I don't know. All I know is it said there's in their rules, it says they're supposed to notify interested parties. And they defined, what's going on, Logan Wolf? And they defined an interested party. An interested party is any international testing organization that could challenge the findings. That was the definition of it. That was their definition of it. You go down here, I go down to it. What is it? Interested party. Interested party. The International Federal, WADA, NGB, and any other anti-doping organization that has the right to appeal the decision in question under 13.4. That's it. That sounds like VADA to me. That sounds like VADA to me. That's the rule of an interested party. And this is in their rules. Administration, they go through the administration of it. Hold on, let's get back up here to 2.2. Best Fight the Best is going to be attend Best Fight the Best live stream too for this. It's 2.2. Right? Where is it? What happens in the adverse finding, right? And D-ball was on their list. They also have all kind of stuff that they can do, dog. This shit is crazy because you can actually get rid of. Where's 2.2? You can actually use D-ball and be legal because they can do an emergency. Because they can do. It's how crazy their rules are. This dude could test positive for D-ball under Ukad rules. He could test positive for D-ball, but give them an explanation about why it's in his system. If they say it's okay, they say it's okay. It's fine. All right, we believe you. If the three experts say, yeah, we accept your reasoning for why this D-ball was in your system, we can excuse you. But still, they're supposed to notify VADA. They still supposed to notify VADA if they let you off. So it's like, and then they have this therapeutic use exemption that you can apply. You can get a therapeutic use exemption after you test positive. So all you got to do is explain to them, and they have to accept your explanation that you didn't have the time to apply for the therapeutic use exemption. So under their rules, Dillian Whyte can test positive for D-ball and then go to this panel, and then the panel can say, oh, that's why you have D-ball in your system? Because you didn't have time. You didn't give us time. You didn't have enough time to tell us. Okay, we believe you. We'll take you at your word. Go ahead and fight Revis with D-ball in your system. Go fight with D-ball in your system. Dog, that's why they say they cleared them. That's why they're saying they cleared them. Because they can clear them. There's all kind of crap in here that allow them to do whatever they want to do. But they do have certain hard and fast rules. Like you're supposed to, probably uses Ukad. I mean, yeah, that's why Dillian Whyte was saying. Dillian Whyte said that he applies for therapeutic use exemptions. The whole thing with Ukad talks about therapeutic use exemptions. The whole thing talks about therapeutic use exemptions. Do you think Ruiz is going to get set up in the rematch? I don't know. It could. I wouldn't go. I mean, I don't trust Eddie Hearn as far as I can throw a building. Been saying that. I don't trust. If you can't tell, I don't trust none of them. Like I'm just gonna have to do what Shannon Briggs gonna have to start popping up Deontay Wilder and just start terrorizing them. Oh, drink more water. Exactly why Ruiz doesn't want to go to that UK. Dog, I think I'm starting to agree with what Best Fight the Best said, man. I'm thinking that they did that announcement to distract from this. Let's start a conversation about Dillian Whyte going to a state, not Dillian Whyte, taking Andy Ruiz to a stadium that ain't built in a country that's a country that is currently involved in one of the greatest human catastrophes on the planet, right? And hey, let's just have a fight there. What? Wow, man. Wow. That's all I can say is wow. That's what Dillian Whyte said in an interview about his 600 days, which is a lie. Oh, and Teddy Atlas, I got a video coming out about Teddy Atlas lying. Man, Teddy Atlas be lying, man. Dog, if he either lying, because he had notes when he said it. Whyte is really irrelevant. He's not even good. Rashid Muhammad, no, he's very relevant. Oh, no, he's essentially relevant. He's relevant. Dog, you realize that Eddie Hearn, they already had the government out there screwing with his ticket scalping scheme. Now he's bringing shame on UK sports world, dog. That is an embarrassment, man. Do you realize that how they are supposed to be adhering to international rules of fairness? But Fanon, the rematch is happening. I think rematch is happening. Yeah, the rematch is going to happen. They just got to pay him. I mean, he might wind up going there. He can go there, not go there. I don't care, man. I don't care. Candace, you sound hurt, my guy. Who's Candace? Human catastrophe supported by the U.S. Yeah, exactly. Welcome to the world. Welcome to the world. That's what we do. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. What do you think I am? Do you think that I'm like, who do you think I am? Oh, you can't. I'm evidence of us supporting human catastrophes. Okay? I'm evidence of that. Now think about that for a second. I am proof. I am living proof of that. Thank you very much. We engage in those on the daily basis. We specialize in those mugs. Are you kidding me? That's why we game recognize game. Game recognize game. Game recognizes game. Whyte has small amounts of PEDs, but they act like he wasn't cycling off past Vada. Dog, they just be making stuff up. They're like, did you hear Teddy Atlas? Dude, I'm going to be a Teddy Atlas troll. Okay? I'm telling you right now, that show, I am going to make counter videos to him and the things that they say. Because they just tried to pull an LDBC call out today. I don't know if you noticed it, because I listened to it, because I was like, really, did they just say we need to have a grassroots movement of boxing fans? We got one. Here you go, LDBC. We're a grassroots organization for boxing fans that are doing all the things that Teddy Hearn and all those Teddy Atlas and his co-host said. But one thing I hope we don't engage in is what Teddy Atlas did at the beginning of the show. It's in my video. Please watch my video. Okay, please watch my video. I'll be blowing my video because I got the time. My timing don't work to get my videos all up in the morning. I have them come at 1:30, 3:30, and 5:30 are my target times to release videos. 1:30 Central Standard Time, 3:30 Central Standard Time, 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Because I do them all at one time in the morning. Then I do this, and then I upload them, and they upload under a system. But thanks, much love, KQKC, man. Get that Patreon. Now. No. Yeah. Of course he did. However, that's clearly a response to what's going on here. But what he said was, look, man, they said they had to eat that crow. You know, they had a big-ass plate of crow. Teddy Atlas, you didn't eat your crow, boy. You didn't eat your crow. You didn't eat your crow. You supported Dillian Whyte, and Dillian Whyte popped dirty. And then when Dillian Whyte popped dirty, you know you have to address it because you were talking all that crap. You spent 30 seconds talking about if Dillian Whyte is guilty. That's just a shame. We will be upset. So if you say you will be upset, that means you're not upset now. Though you know he tested positive for D-ball, right? You know he tested you know you fucked up, right? Teddy, you know you did. He tested positive for D-ball. And what was your response? Like how they do, they deflect. And he starts going off for about 20 minutes about how Dillian Whyte was mistreated by the WBC because the WBC had him as the mandatory for 600 days and didn't give his title shot against Deontay Wilder. What do you say, Teddy? He was the mandatory for 600 days? Is that true, Teddy? No, it's not true, Teddy. He was not the mandatory for 600 days. This fight that he just popped dirty for performance-enhancing drugs and should have, that fight made him the mandatory. That took 63 days for the WBC to do. Well, what was happening the rest of the time, Teddy? The rest of the time, Dominic Brazil was the mandatory. Since sometime around the Luis Ortiz fight. Luis Ortiz was, because he fought, Dominic Brazil became the mandatory. He fought his mandatory in Dominic Brazil. Was Dillian Whyte the mandatory at the same time that Dominic Brazil was the mandatory, Teddy? No, Teddy. No, Teddy, he wasn't. So what you're saying isn't true. Dillian Whyte waited for 63 days to get a shot at the to get a shot at becoming the mandatory. And what did he do with that opportunity, Teddy Atlas? He cheated blatantly by using D-ball, an anabolic steroid, in the lead up to the fight. And notice how I said he didn't say this, Teddy. Notice what Teddy left out. No, and he had notes, so he prepared for the show. You took notes. I saw your notes. You had notes. You had things written, not written down. You had things typed out, which means they prepared your notes for you, right? Whoever your producer is that prepared those notes for you, he fucked up. You know that, right? You know you fucked up. Because like J.A. Dixon, you forgot about the gloves. What about the gloves? Teddy, what about the gloves? What about the fact that he got into the ring with gloves that were not approved? Got anything to say about that, Teddy? What do you think the chances of Deontay Wilder getting in there with unapproved gloves? What reaction would that get out of Teddy Riley? Teddy Riley would have been going crazy about that. Selective outrage, dog. Selective outrage. Teddy Atlas and the Selective Outrage. That should be a name of a group. That dude need to have a band called the Selective Outrage. What you gonna get mad about? Some things he gets real mad about, and other things he gets real mad about. Dude, Teddy Riley exposed. Look at this. I don't want to ruin my video, but I'm going to do it anyway. Please watch the video. The video is good. But look, he exposed Otto Weiland for participating in a fixed fight. Teddy Atlas did that. On that video, he exposed Otto Weiland for participating in a fixed fight. That's what Teddy Riley did. Look, hey, 78, Teddy Riley did that. Teddy Riley on this video exposed, yes, he did. Look, go watch it. Go watch the latest one that came out this morning. He showed on videotape a knockout that Otto Weiland had. And they played it quickly, right? And they were like, you see that knockout? Teddy Riley, he had a good eye for that. He said, now slow it, play it over. He said, stop and play it over. The two-punch combination that Otto Weiland knocked the guy out with, neither one of the punches landed. And the guy went out and faked like he did an Emmanuel Augustus and just dove down and they stopped the fight. He got knocked out by a two-punch combination where neither punch landed, and the knockout punch missed him by 4 inches. The knockout punch missed by 4 inches. Teddy Riley showed that. Teddy Riley showed it. But guess what he did? This is what I'm saying. Teddy Riley and the Selective Outrage band. Know what song they played? They said that's just part of boxing. Yeah, we know it's not a good fight. We know that Otto Weiland is, his knockouts ain't real. We know that he's from the Netherlands and their teams suck. But that's just part of boxing. That's what you're going to do with the fighter when you got all this money invested in them and they're going to fight Deontay Wilder. That's what you do. It's a bad part of boxing, but that's, I got to tell the truth. That's just what we do. That's what Teddy Riley said. But with Deontay Wilder, just the day before, he thought that they should consider not sanctioning a fight between Deontay Wilder and Adam Kownacki because it's a mismatch. So on one end, you have a legitimate fighter, Adam Kownacki, who fights in the United States against qualified fighters like Chris Arreola, and Deontay Wilder. He says that you should consider not sanctioning that, but you should give Tyson Fury a pass for a guy that's coming from a country where they don't have competitive boxing and who participated in a fixed fight. But that's understandable. That's what Teddy Riley said. That's what he said. That's what he said. He didn't mention Eddie Hearn's name with the fact that they let this guy test positive under the cloud of performance-enhancing drugs. Did he say anything about that? No. Did he say anything about the gloves? No. But that's it with him. With him, he's got a nice trick. He's got a nice trick. He's mad about everything, right? That's how Teddy plays it. That's the Teddy scheme. The Teddy scheme is he gets mad at everything that we all know is screwed up, right? But some things he just gets real mad about, and other things he's just kind of mad about. That's Teddy's game. Get real mad about certain things. Just acknowledge the existence of others. Okay? That's like one kid steals a cookie. You politely walk up to him and tell him that is not correct to steal from my store. Give me the cookie back. And then he takes the cookie, puts the cookie back where it was, wags his finger at him, and says, now don't do that again. But the same Teddy Riley, if this kid comes in the store and takes a cookie, then he's calling number one, he's punching the kid in the mouth, laying him out on the floor, telling his boy to take him to the back room, calling the police and pressing charges. In both instances, he said something about something being wrong. He acknowledged that it was wrong. But he has, tisk over here, ban him, punish him over here. Tisk, put him in jail. Don't do that again, shoot him. That is the game of Teddy Ruxpin. I saw they say that. That's his game. And I'm sitting there like, man, do you really not think Fanon is going when he listens, is going to laugh when he listens back at this, Teddy Riley? Hey, dog, it's for real. I said Teddy Riley. I know his name is Teddy Atlas. He don't deserve it. He needs something, dog, seriously. Ooh, jam. Teddy, lie for me now. Teddy. I know what I'm saying. I'm trying to tell you, I know I'm saying that dude's name wrong because that's me being disrespectful to him. Okay? That's me being somebody's disrespectful. Because that's dirty. And if you are going to say in the situation with Dillian Whyte, the Dillian Whyte tested positive, you're going to wait till the outcome comes out. But you know he already fought the fight under the cloud of it. You also should know that he had gloves he had illegal gloves for the fight. You are just going to say, what a shame, but it is then go off about something that ain't even true. He went off on the WBC about something that wasn't even true. You let somebody off the hook for something they did do to get on top of somebody else that didn't do it. It's like you forgive an innocent man and go kick it. You forgive a guilty man to go kick an innocent one. Dillian Whyte was never the man. Dillian Whyte was not the mandatory for 600 days. He was the number one contender for 600 days. Dominic Brazil was the mandatory, and you can't tell me you don't understand that, Teddy. I know you understand that. If this was somebody like, if this was somebody like, some UK troll, just one of y'all, y'all listening. We got 300 people in the building, only 151 likes. One of y'all. If one of y'all said it, I'll be like, all right, whatever. You just don't know. But this is Teddy Ruxpin Riley. This is Teddy. Teddy is supposed to be an expert at the sport of boxing. He has dealt with sanctioning bodies and had multiple championship fighters fight. The motherfucker knows the difference between a mandatory and somebody fighting in an eliminator. He knows the difference. I have a hard time believing that was not intentional, because he was more definitive with it in that one than he was with the one before. Shame. Shame on you, Teddy. Shame on you, Teddy. And you're just going to just show the fact that this dude threw a fight. Oh, great observation, too. Great observation. Dude, I'm going to research what that is, because that is masterful. That's masterful of the way that Teddy Riley did that. The way that you just try to deflect he tries to, you can't, because, now watch this, dog, because he criticizes everybody, he's fair. Billy S said, bro, what? Look at this. If I say, yes, I am fair and impartial because I criticized everybody. But how did you punish them? You put that dude in jail for the rest of his life. You put that dude on probation. Yeah, but you suspended his sentence. Right? You convicted them both, but you suspended his sentence. That's what Teddy does. Teddy's like, yeah, I get on everybody. We're going to keep it fair here. No, Teddy, you're not being fair. You're being fair in a certain sense. But dog, no. No, Teddy, no. That's just another con. That is another very interesting con job. And I like how you do it because it's harder to point out. He's stepping to the side of you, right? He's stepping to the side of you. It's hard to argue with somebody that agrees with you. Very difficult to do. Very difficult to do. And Teddy does it masterfully. He's, instead of just putting his bullshit straight in your face, he steps to the side. He agrees with as much as with you. He agrees with you as much as he can, right? But drives home the shady shit. Then drives home the foul shit that you don't agree with. So he can step to the side and admit, yes, I'm being fair. I will admit that Dillian Whyte, if he did this, I will be mad if it winds up that he winds up having tested positive. That's what he said. Not perfection. He's not smoking crack. He's very purposeful with it. No, he's not. He's not. No. He's not. Let me tell you, that dude is not dumb. He's not dumb. He's doing that on purpose. He's doing that on purpose. He's like the old man that act like, like Hyman Roth. I'm sick. I don't know. He's playing dumb like a fox. That's what he's doing. Playing dumb like a fox. Playing dumb like a fox. Teddy Riley ain't dumb. Teddy Riley ain't old. Teddy Riley ain't doing that on accident. That is a very well-designed way to go about being what I believe is a bigot, knowing that you're going to get attacked for it, right? But disarming your attackers and doing what you want to do anyway. That's Teddy Riley. Yeah, see, that's the real one. The real Teddy is the one that went off on Deontay Wilder and said some crap like all of his punches are throwaway punches. See, he couldn't help that because that's him. All of his punches are throwaway punches. What? What'd you say, Teddy? All of his punches are throwaway. What? No, he ain't on, man. No, dude, seriously. He might be drinking, but he plays dumb like a fox. He plays Atlas, not Riley. No, it's Teddy Riley. Teddy Riley. Teddy jam for me now. That dude, Teddy Riley. A musician whose albums don't sell no more and needs to fucking retire because you're played out. Teddy Riley. Throwaway punches, but yeah, exactly. That's what he said. He's like, all his punches are because his form is so terrible. The same guy whose form is so terrible shouldn't be allowed to fight. Should not be allowed to fight Adam Kwanacki because he's so terrible. Deontay Wilder is so terrible. He's a terrible fighter, but he's at the same time, he's so dangerous that he shouldn't be allowed to take the fight that he wants. So we shouldn't make this fight, which could sell very well because it's a Polish fighter and up and up. He shouldn't have that act. He shouldn't have that option to fight a dangerous fighter, right? We should just prevent him from fighting him, right? The same good dude that is so terrible that it would have been a crime to put Anthony Joshua in the ring with him at that time in his career, right? This is the same guy. But, at the same time, man, he looks to the camera like this, like he does like this. He's like, but you the people that represent the fans, and we can overcome all of these shady things that take place in boxing. It's you, the fans. You are part of the shady shit that happens in boxing, okay? You are one of the shady things that happen in boxing with your corny-ass debate tactics, cheesy-ass debate tactics. I ain't interested in what you agree with me on. I'm interested in what we disagree with. Why do you say, Deontay, why did you say that Dillian Whyte been waiting 600 days when that's not true? It's not true. Who he got blasted? Oh, what did you say? No. He said he's telling the truth. Wilder didn't fight nobody but Fury. Yeah, he did. He fought 41 other people. How did he get a championship if he ain't never fought anybody but Fury? What do you mean? That's not the truth. You didn't speak the truth. You made a ridiculous ass exaggeration similar to the one that Teddy Atlas made that I just pointed out. He fought bums? Yeah, he did. Probably fought 15, 20 of them. So what? Everybody fights bums. Tyson Fury's fight just got done fighting Schwartz. Kidding me? Tyson Fury just got done fighting Schwartz, Francisco Piñeta, who ain't fought bums. Anthony Joshua fought bums. There's guys with 23, 25 losses on Anthony Joshua's record. If you want to call him a bum. Fury's just planned to fight with another one. You kidding me? Derek Chisora just knocked out Spilka, who didn't used to be a bum, but is now a newly found bum after Deontay Wilder turned his head in a circle. What are you kidding me? What? Get out of here with that. Oh, somebody threw you out? Candace Pugnix, he'll be back in a different name. That's what he is. That's how these dudes do. I do want to talk about the LDBC in a second here, though, because I was really inspired by the comment. Let me see. Yeah, your mama a bum, Dave. Oh, you're here. Do not time out David Wong. Leave David Wong to me. No, do not delete him. Leave David Wong to me. Because David Wong, I want to have a conversation with you, David Wong. I will be a TBU. You've said enough things on my page in the comment section for me to be more than happy to humiliate you. Okay? You are like the little kid. You are the little kid that keeps playing. You're like the little 2-year-old kid that keeps talking smack. Like, and you're not supposed to smack that little kid because the little kid's only 6, but he keeps talking shit, keeps trying to jab you in the knee and all that stuff. And you're looking at him, you're like, look, little man, aha, you're cute. You pat him on the head a couple times, aha, you're cute. But then you realize this little 6-year-old really wants to fight. And he keeps trying to punch you in the knee. And I'm trying to get out the house. And then all of a sudden, the little dude swings at your Johnson. And I'm like, hold on. Mama's about to leave the house, dog. I'm about to teach you a lesson and beat the piss out you. Okay? I don't have any problem doing that to you, dude. No problem. Okay? No problem. So let him go. Let him go. Anything else you'd like to say, David Wong? Anything else? I'm waiting because I think you're a racist. And I would love to humiliate you. I've heard enough from you to know what you are. So, anything else? I said, I think you are. You can say you're not. Do you have anything else to say about boxing, David Wong? Any smart-ass questions you'd like to ask? I think not. Thank you. Very good. Very good, son. Very, very good, son. Very good, son. Very smart. Better to get blocked and live another day than to stay on here and get humiliated. Love it. Okay? Best Fight the Best said that he is the pound for pound petty king. I don't know. I will bring my form. I am a retired petty championship king. I have no problem doing it to you. Please, none of that shit from you. I'm not one. I just hate everything about you. I just can't find a way to agree with anything that you say, no matter what it is that you say. And I'm perfectly willing to lie. I'm perfectly willing to make up stats. I'm perfectly willing to say things and not to argue with you, but never actually look to see if what you say is true. And he's a Manny Pacquiao's an 8. If Manny Pacquiao was black, you'd say Manny Pacquiao was the greatest fighter of all time. The only reason that you're saying Manny Pacquiao isn't the greatest fighter of all time is because Manny Pacquiao's not black. Really? Floyd Mayweather Jr. is black, and I don't think he's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. There's only one that I would say that about. And Manny Pacquiao don't got 8 championship belts. He doesn't have them. Stop lying. You're doing the same. You type of crap. You type of dudes are doing the same thing Teddy Atlas is doing. You think if you say something that's not true enough times that people will just stop and act like what you said is true. Manny Pacquiao, Fahim, Manny Pacquiao does not have 8 major championship titles. He does not have them. Stop it. You're lying. And you keep saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And guess what? As many times as you say that, it never becomes more true than you said it. He did not win a 140-pound major championship belt. And he has never in his life fought at 154-pound weight limit. Never. And I don't care what sanctioning body gave him a vacant belt for doing it. He fought Antonio Margarito at 152 pounds, and he fought at the only fight he ever had at 140 pounds was for the IBO belt against Ricky Hatton. He has 6, not 8. He has 6. Dog, just stop lying on him. Dude, Manny Pacquiao don't need you to lie for him. Manny Pacquiao does not need you to lie to him, lie for him. He has enough on his resume and enough things that he's accomplished to say what he is. And what he is good enough. What he is good enough. Okay? But you're going to make me really tear at Manny Pacquiao. You make it hard for me. You guys make it hard for me to treat him with respect, because you make me pull out all of the inconsistencies connected to him. You make me pull those out because you put things out. You make me say he didn't accomplish something. You were saying, oh, you're trying to discredit Manny Pacquiao. You're trying to discredit Gennady Golovkin. You're trying to discredit Anthony Joshua. No, I ain't trying to discredit them. I'm just not going to allow you to give them credit for something that they didn't achieve. That's not discrediting them. If I say that Manny Pacquiao has never been a unified champion, not never, not none, never, that is not discrediting him. That is the truth. That's just the truth. He never was the champion. Not one day in his life has he been the only champion in a weight division. Never. He was never a 140-pound champion. He's been beat four times. Gennady Golovkin was not a 22. He never defended a major championship belt more than 9 times. But that's enough. You can say, man, Gennady Golovkin has had one of the longer reigns in the history. Two longs don't make it right. He's one of the longer reigning champions in boxing today. He was, with 9 title defenses. He was also a very successful middleweight champion. He's a Hall of Fame fighter. That's enough. But for you to say that he has 22 is just a lie. It's just a lie. He didn't have them. He never had them. He never came close. Adam M said, bro, I'm telling you, most Pac fans don't watch Boxing Lust. I'm Team Pac, but he's not the GOAT. Dude, and that's all it has to be. Dude, hey, look, man, I am a huge fan of Felix Tito Trinidad. A huge one. I am not about to call this dude the greatest welterweight of all time. Okay? I mean, spend enough time talking about boxing and understand it, man. Just stop it. Just stop it, man. Stop lying. And then for you guys to say that, oh, who am I supposed to believe, you? This is what this clown said. Who am I supposed to believe, you or Max Kellerman? Me or Max Kellerman, huh? Me. Because Max Kellerman gonna flat out lie. I can be wrong. Max Kellerman will flat out lie. Max Kellerman. And when I say Max Kellerman lies, because Max Kellerman don't believe what Max Kellerman is saying. Max Kellerman is trying to get ratings. He dudes be killing me, man, with this stuff. Catch you later, my boss on my ass. Keep killing him. Oh, hey, thanks, Rod Stanford. I appreciate you. Yeah, man, I got to slap him up, dude. Got to slap him up. That was the worst you've ever heard? Dude, did everybody hit the like button? Oh, of the 188 people that like what I'm saying, probably everybody did hit the like button. Probably everybody did hit the like button. Max Kellerman with the bars, yeah, that's him. Max Kellerman, the guy that said Manny Pacquiao is the greatest fighter of his generation. Even though Juan Manuel Marquez knocked him out flat on his face, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. beat him easy. Somehow, so what's going on there, Keith Smith? Somehow, some way, it's Manny Pacquiao. Now, and it's also interesting, man. You ever notice, Fanan, he put you against Max Guy? Dude, Max Kellerman is not into boxing, dude. Boxing is one of the sports that Max Kellerman likes. And Max Kellerman got his break into talking about boxing, about talking about sports by covering boxing. Max Kellerman was on a public access radio and got in cool with Pernell Whitaker and developed a name because he had a relationship to Pernell Whitaker. The same way that Stephen A. Smith was covering basketball with the Philadelphia Inquirer and got cool with Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson started giving him a lot of gems, a lot of quotes, and his name got out there for interviewing Allen Iverson out of Philadelphia. And then once people started watching his stuff and watching his name, then they gave him a bigger job. Okay? That's what happened. Just like the kid, and no disrespect to the guy from Fight Hub. Fight Hub, I can't remember what his name is. His channel got big enough. They recognized him, and now they let him cover fights for the PBC. They let him do the PBC somehow. Let that dude do fight, score the fights. I want to know whose testes he had to lick in order to get to be able to call fights on the PBC, to score the fights. Now I shouldn't have said that about him, but come on, man. That's how that works. That's how that works. He said these are facts. I'm an AI expert. Yeah, that's how that works. Yeah, it works like that. That's how it happens. Fight Hype, the channel Fight Hype. Fight Hype knew Floyd Mayweather Jr. The chick that keeps people in the LDBC from getting press passes to PBC fights used to work for Floyd Mayweather Jr. And people be blasting the LDBC blast on Floyd Mayweather Jr. so she doesn't let people have access to PBC fights. What's that chick's name? What's that girl's name? I don't remember what her name is. But that's what she does. People are like, well, it's like you can't get, people think that the people in the LDBC work for Fanon ain't getting that break, you too real. No, I mean, I don't need a break. I'm not, you kidding me? I have to leave my house to cover them fights. I ain't doing that shit. For what? For what? The way that I look at it, first of all, I got a job. Okay. Second of all, I want to do this as a retirement. I ain't gonna lie. When I stop doing what I do on a daily basis to make a living, I want to be able to do this as a retirement job. So I'm trying to build supporters on the Patreon, on the channel, so that I can offer a service to you guys that you guys will appreciate. Okay? That's what I want to do. I know what my goal is. I don't want to be a boxing promoter. I don't want to interview fighters. I don't want to go to a fight, be sitting down watching a fight, and have to actually sit around and bump up next to somebody so that I can say hey to Errol Spence. I'll watch Errol Spence in the ring and be like, man, great fight. And I'll go take care of my business. I'll come back and talk to y'all. Sam Watson can hopefully get around that BS, denying press passes is BS. Look, man, the way that organizations work is that everybody has to work with one another. But I think her name is Kelly Swanson. If enough people complain about her, then something will get done. Because they'll point it out. It's not coincidental that people who have issue with Floyd Mayweather Jr. can't get press passes to cover other PBC fighters. And Kelly Swanson, that's because she is favoring Fight Hype. She favors her group of people and want them to have access so that they can get the financial benefit of getting press passes. Press passes are like money to them people. So that's why people who are in the press, are covering fights on a regular basis, can't get one from her. Because they're like, no, I only got so many I'm going to give out. And I'm giving them out to my friends. And then she'll accuse somebody else of giving them out there to her friends. So I don't want them. I'll pay for the fight. Super chats work. Hey, I'll pay for the fight. I guess I got to pay for the fight. I guess I got to pay for the fight. Okay. Either I won't go or I'll pay for the fight. Either I won't go because the shit's not that expensive. Okay. It's not most of these fights. What I'll do is, okay, I guess I'm not going to be. How often do you go to a fight that's a front row seat for Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, where that press pass is worth $200,000? Dog, I bought a ticket to a Jamal Charlo fight for $250. I think I paid $250 for it. I was right next to everybody else, right on the floor in a nice corner where I wasn't clenched up underneath a bunch of people, and I did my thing. But that's why it's important. I really do believe. Thank you guys so much for supporting the LDBC and really supporting it in all the different ways that people support it. People support it financially. That is a very important thing because seriously, man, it's time consuming. It is resource consuming, right? It's energy consuming, right? And you get attacked so much that when you guys tip your hats to people, it makes them feel like, yeah, okay, it's worth doing this. It's worth getting attacked all day, every day by these people. Because you get attacked daily, all the time. Like people say people offer contracts and stuff to 78. Ain't nobody offering me no contract. Because they ain't doing that. Because I ain't big enough. So it is what it is. Say what's on your mind. Like you can do it. What is Malik? Say what's on your mind. What? Sound kind of upset you didn't get. Dude, I wasn't upset. Look, dumbass. Malik, let me tell you something. No, he's not. Let me explain. I'm not upset that I didn't get a press pass because I had already bought my tickets for the fight before I asked for a press pass. See how that works? So what would I want a press pass for? I would want a press pass so that I can walk into the press conference. And in the press conference, I can then sit there and listen to the questions that were asked. And if I want to ask a question, I might be able to ask a question. That's it. I had already bought my tickets to the fight. I'm not going to rely. And here's the thing. If I would have got a press pass, I would not have sat where the press were. I would have sat in the seat that I bought. What I said, kind of stupid. What I said was, I'm talking about people who are actually in the press. See, I am what you call a boxing fan. And I talk boxing. I give my opinion about boxing. That's what I do. Okay? I do not interview fighters. I have interviewed fighters, but quite honestly, I felt like a fan when I did it. So I was like, you know what? I really can't do the job the way the job's supposed to be done. Because if I'm talking to Errol Spence Jr., I really want to know, damn, dog, you really like hurting people or what? I mean, is that just a bit of the job or do you take real joy for whooping them? I want to know questions like that, like in the mind of the fighter. But I don't want to feel like a fan when I'm doing a journalist's job. Journalists are supposed to give accurate information. They're supposed to provide information. But anyway, I won't get into what a journalist is supposed to do and not supposed to do, or somebody that's engaging in an act of journalism. I'm an op-ed article. That's what I am. I'm an op-ed article. I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm going to give you my editorial opinion. Fanon, speak slower. Malik is a special kind of stupid. He is, but I'm not right. But you don't really have to speak slower. You just got to say it several times and then let them go away and sit them down in a room and then let it circulate in their brain. Eventually it'll run around in their brain. They'll hear it and it'll click. And then they won't give me credit for it. They'll just go and they'll do something. They'll think that they think that they invented it themselves. So like a lot of people think people are biting. Like when they do something exactly like you did it. Sometimes people think, they're like, oh, he bit on me. He bit what I did. He's copying me. He is copying you. But a lot of times they're too stupid to know that they really were copying, because they will watch what you do and then they will go into a room and they will just be like, oh, I wonder what I'm going to do. Oh, this would be a good idea if I do this. If I pan in, then I pan out. Oh, yeah, I like that. But they won't realize where they got the idea from, which is reasonable. You know what I mean? You really know they're biting when they do it right after you do it, though. Do a 180 and go in Ellie Sethback's route. You'll never be denied a press pass unless it's a Bud fight. Nah, I'm not going to do that, man, because I think I'm a jerk. I'm a jerk. Like, I don't think you're better. I have an ego problem. I don't feel like something like in the negotiation thing. Why does Shadow 9 get timed out? Omega Red, I think you missed. Salute, I think you missed. I think you shot somebody. There you go. I think you missed. Yeah. Fanon, you using that Washington, D.C. slang again? What did I say that was Washington, D.C. slang? I get mixed up sometimes. I know I say Joan on people. That is stuck. Yeah, okay, yeah. Somebody got that. Shadow 9 shouldn't have been. That shouldn't have happened to Shadow 9. Here, actually, let's fix this. Shadow 9, say something real quick so we can fix that. Make sure that don't happen again. Ellie is never, ever critical. He asked the most ridiculous questions. Yeah, but, whatever. I don't really have any problem with Ellie Sethback. Them sensitive-ass fighters that can find a way to get mad at Ellie Sethback. Like, how can you get mad at Ellie Sethback? I don't get it. But, people do what they do, man. They do what they do. Jim Lampley and Bob Arum said Manny Pacquiao, man, was the best fighter in boxing history. Hold on. Watch this. The Ivan Garcia. Now, this is where you know what's much love, Big Dog Willie. Thank you, sir. Oh, he said he was timed out, so I unhit him. Thanks, Omega Red. All right, so this is funny. If Manny Pacquiao said, man, Gary Benson in the building, what's going on? He said, you brothers in LDBC do an excellent job of keeping the real boxing fans informed and debunking the media the propaganda mainstream media puts out. Salute. Yes, sir. Which, thank you, man. Thanks, Gary Benson, man. I really, really appreciate the support, man. The funny thing is, though, that's what I had to do. That Teddy Atlas literally put out some propaganda and then 15 minutes talked about how important it was for him to debunk the propaganda. He spread some pure propaganda about Dillian Whyte being a mandatory for 600 days. That's straight propaganda. But then said how important it was for him to be the speaker of the truth. Yeah, like you were really trying to attack, like you were really trying to beat up George Foreman. Did you ever see that picture of him trying to beat up George Foreman? Like he told George Foreman to sit down and get him a sandwich or something. Shut up and get me a sandwich. Some shit like that he said to George Foreman. And then they got this picture of him like he's about to bum rush George Foreman. Dog, George Foreman was sitting there with his back to him like, why is this dude acting? Why is this dude acting like he want to come over here and get hurt? George Foreman, you going to start a fight with George Foreman? Teddy Atlas, you going to fight George Foreman? George Foreman. Of all the big-ass dudes in the world, you going to fight George Foreman. George Foreman will knock, oh my God, man. He'll knock your brain back into place. Nah, P Street and 78 was only 2 channels for me back then. P Street controversy. That dude there, dude. But yeah, man. But anyway, Bob Arum said, much love in that super chat. Bob Arum said that now that then Manny Pacquiao was the greatest fighter ever, but now Vasily Lomachenko is the greatest fighter since the young Ali. How does that work? Manny Pacquiao fought after a young Ali, but Manny Pacquiao was the greatest fighter ever. But now Lomachenko is the greatest fighter since a young Ali. So Wouldn't that mean that Vasily Lomachenko would have to be the greatest fighter ever? If he was the greatest, wouldn't that mean? Because he's greater than Manny Pacquiao, and Manny Pacquiao fought after Ali. And so he's greater than Pacquiao, and Pacquiao is the greatest fighter ever. Shouldn't that mean that Vasily Lomachenko is the greatest fighter of all time? But you can't get away with that because he's only got 13 fights. And he lost one of them. Man, Doug, please. George will go to jail for murder. Nah, it'd be self-defense. He's a boxing trainer. But all he got to do is do this to him. Bop. Just grab him. See, but he wouldn't know what he wouldn't do. You know who he wouldn't do that to? Who he would never do that to? Because Big George had something to lose. Big George took that because Big George had something to lose. Big George making $300 million. Okay, Big George had Big George Foreman grills. A lot of people don't know George Foreman's one of the richest boxers ever because he made that comeback, became the heavyweight champion at 45 years old. He's big as a house and sold them grills. He had the George Foreman grill. Bam Bam tweet. He said working, but in that. But that tap in, salute five shot, salute five. But see, so Teddy Atlas trying to start a fight with somebody he knows would lose all that money if he touched him. That's Teddy a punk. Teddy's a punk. Teddy gonna try to bum rush and talk shit to a dude that just got a George Foreman grill contract. That's why George Foreman didn't care. George Foreman say what George Foreman want to say. George Foreman, crazy rich, crazy rich. Big George is crazy rich. Teddy got to work. So he's going to try to start a fight with Big George, but with Big George ignored him. Now, start that shit with Deontay Wilder. Run up on Deontay Wilder with all of that. Tell Deontay Wilder to shut up and go get him a sandwich. I dare you. I dare you. Yeah, I said True George became a household name after boxing. Man, he has a product that works. You put that shit in there and squeeze, the fat comes out, easy money. That shit worked. He had a product that worked with his name associated to it. No, go do that. Hey, Teddy, I dare you to do that. I dare you, Teddy. Stand in a room with Deontay Wilder and say, boy, go get me a sandwich. I double dare you. Dude, I guarantee you this. If Deontay Wilder could do this, he could look at him, just hop back, whop, right in that dude's face, and he ain't going to move a muscle. Now, hit me. I dare you. Teddy Atlas will be like, let me get on my podcast and talk shit. Because you ain't going to say nothing whatsoever because Deontay Wilder hurt you. He already proved it. He fought Charlie Zinoff. When he did that to Charlie Zinoff, I knew it was done. I knew this dude is legit. This dude is legit. This dude is legit. Like, don't play with him. Don't play. And I was near his brother, Marsalis Wilder. I was near him. Just because I've never seen Deontay Wilder in public, but I saw his brother at the weigh-in. It was at the weigh-in for for the Charlo fight. And I stood within 10 feet of that dude. And I was like, Deontay Wilder is a big version of him? Ooh, no. You want zero smoke. You want zero smoke because Marsalis Wallace is a big dude. I was like, dude, he looks so little next to Deontay. But he's huge. And then he had like somebody with him that had to be a relative. Had to be a relative. Because there was a black woman who was standing next to me and she was like, she had heels on, but she was at least in her heels, she was like 2 inches taller than me. But very slender build, very slender, long build. I was like, does Deontay Wilder got a sister or a cousin, something? Because this chick has got, nah, we ain't checking out your live stream, homie. Don't be coming in here with that stuff, dog. No, you ain't LDBC, you ain't me. And we ain't giving out no more free passes. We ain't giving nobody no more free passes. I gave a couple cats free passes. They violated their entry. No more free passes. You gotta come up from the ground up. We ain't accepting no more applications. We ain't accepting no more applications for LDBC channels. No more applications. If you are not already firmly entrenched within the community, you got to come up from the ground up, dog, like I did. Because I came up from the ground up. Thank you very much. Had 10,000 subscribers before I ever claimed it, though working in secret the whole time. People be like, you really LDBC, stop lying. And I'd be like, nah, man, I'm affiliated. I like them a lot. Yeah. Hey, whole time I was like, I'm just waiting to get to 10,000 subs. When I get to 10,000 subs, then I'll drop it on you. Boom. There you go. Absolutely. Because y'all think everybody's alike. And that's what I enjoy doing. You think you think that you know us. You really do think that you know us. You think that just because you know what Coach Shelton Harris is, that you know what I am. You guys used to try to pull shit on people that you will never try to pull on me. Ever try to pull on me. Because I know you. You ain't say Fanon International. It's terrible week. Thanks for all the support. Vote on the poll. Yes, sir. Shout out to my man D-Style Boxing. Definitely check his poll. Subscribe to that channel. He said, look at the dude's page. Ain't nothing to do with boxing. Yeah, man, I ain't dealing with that. I ain't dealing, but he knows you know to come around to ask people to check out the stuff. That's tacky, by the way. Foreman was a hated fighter in his first boxing career, and he was rebranding himself in the second and was loved, grand, pop. You remember when Tony B was talking stuff about Wilder until he met him. Who's Tony B? Oh, no, Tony Bellew. No, let me tell you, Dana. What's going, Dana? No, let me tell you what Tony Bellew did. Oh, yeah, we're probably saying the same thing. Tony Bellew was talking shit about Deontay Wilder before he met him. And then when he met him, he shut up. And then when Deontay Wilder was gone, he started talking again. He played that Jedi mind trick on Deontay Wilder. See, he was talking shit about Deontay Wilder until Deontay Wilder showed up. But when Deontay Wilder was in the room, he stopped talking. But then when Deontay Wilder left the room, he started talking again. See? Jedi mind tricks. They all like that. They're all like Eddie Hearn. Have you ever seen Eddie Hearn in the room with Deontay Wilder? Does anybody have a picture of Deontay Wilder and Eddie Hearn in the same room? Just like Tank. Lil Tank. Hey, Lil Tank. And by the way, I like Tank, so don't get mad. I'm about to roll up off this chat in a second, though. Lil Tank. Hey, Big Tank turned to Jeep. Tank turned into a Jeep real quick. Like, hey, I'm like you. I knock out people too. I was like, we just like each other. Man, Wilder got the Debo effect. Hell yeah, dog, that dude crazy. Dude, Deontay Wilder crazy, dude. Okay, a Geo tracker. He turned into a Honda Civic. Turned from a tank to a Honda Civic real quick. Okay, real quick. Dog, let me say thank you for your channel. I love it. Do you think Joshua will lose again in his career eventually? Yes. Against Andy Ruiz, I don't know. And if he goes the distance, he'll win. He'll go. If he goes the distance, he'll win. I'm not anti-Anthony Joshua right now. You're gonna have I'm not gonna talk bad about Anthony Joshua right now. I know he's in the grips of the devil. That's what it is. It's like you got to have mercy on him because he was in the grips. He was in the grips of a demon. That wasn't my baby. That ain't my baby. That's a demon in my baby. My baby would never do that. My baby's them drugs. It's them drugs. You know what it is? Like your baby, like your kid come home, just you love your kid, and all of a sudden all your shit's gone. Like stole all your silverware, stole your watches, stole your money where they knew it was, but it couldn't be your baby. It was just them drugs. Them drugs is hurting my baby. It's them devils. The devil's in them drugs. That's Eddie Hearn. That ain't AJ. That's Eddie Hearn. He had Eddie Hearn in him. Oh, Eddie Hearn is a snake. Snake. Okay? When you come from nothing, dealing with hardship all your life, it makes it hard for you to be afraid of anybody. I don't know. I can't say because I've not dealt with that. I think if you're not afraid, something's wrong with you. At a certain point, because fear is natural. It's an instinct to protect yourself. It's fight or flight. How you interpret it could be different things, but that is there for a reason. If you don't feel any fear, then there's something wrong with you. Deontay Wilder, though, way he tried to hurt that boy Zarly Zinoff, woo-wee, he did not care. He did not care. But look, I got to get out of here. Much love to everybody. Is what even legal? Woolbag, AJ signed a rematch while concussed. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's in UK. But yeah, I mean, he can argue after the fact that it's not enforceable, but I doubt very much it'll get out of that. You know what I mean? Petty Hearn has nothing but a used car salesman with a bunch of lemons in his car. He's a criminal. That's what I think he is. In my opinion, he's like a petty thief. He's just like your average. He's like your average dude. The mentality of somebody that's always trying to get over. He's a get over artist, from what I can see. He said, Fanon, every black mom says that. My mom says that about my brother. Hey, man, you know that ain't my baby. That's them devils. Hey, well, it is what it is. Hey, man, anyway, it is what it is. Check out my man KQKC. And with that, I'm out. Peace.